All right, let's do it. Hey guys, this is Pixel Dan coming to you from the 2019 New York Toy Fair, and I'm here with Brian Flynn at Super7. What's up, Brian?
Hi, Dan.
How's it going, man?
It's been busy.
It's been busy?
It's been busy.
That's good. That's good.
I'm trying to surprise people.
Good. Well, I think you did a pretty good job of that because you have got some amazing things over here that I was not expecting to see. So we got a lot to talk about.
So when people were like, when are you doing classics again? It's like, I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Well, that's the big news. Why don't we jump right to that? You just revealed the newest wave of classics, or collector's choice, which is all based on the motion picture, the Masters of the Universe motion picture. Figures that we never thought we'd see before, including Dolph Lundgren He-Man with the likeness. We got the movie Skeletor and the Golden God Skeletor, and a repaint of Karg in the movie colors, which is amazing. So what can you tell us about this? Like, how'd you guys make this happen?
We have magic in our fingers, and we take that magic. It just took a long time, but you know, there was a lot of little check boxes that we had to work through. Lots of people outside of many different companies that needed to be involved. But, you know, we've been working on it for quite a while. And that's why, obviously, when you see them, it's like they're not like sort of there. It's like, oh, no, they're there. They're ready. So, yeah, it's a lot of work and a lot of hassle. And I think because, you know, we aren't Mattel, we were able to pull it off. And that sounds horrible to say, but there's a lot of animosity with some of the third-party people in Mattel, so that was part of the reason things never got happened.
All right.
So maybe I'm saying things I'm not supposed to. I don't know.
Am I going to get you in trouble here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I mean, that was the reality. Like, some of the stakeholders were like, we'll never do it if Mattel's involved.
Okay.
And so now Mattel's not involved.
Wow.
So
And now they're here and they're coming, and is this going to...
I can bring it to you because you wanted it.
We definitely did. I get to say, like, that, especially the Gold God Skeletor, but those figures in general were kind of like my last big once out of classics. Like, I never thought I'd see them. You know what I mean? And now they're here, so it's pretty amazing stuff.
And you know, that's part of the reason it just took a lot longer than everybody expected. And it's not like we weren't trying to do classics. We still love you. We're just trying to give you the best birthday present possible.
So are these, I assume these will be like a pre-order as a set, the same way you've done everything else?
Yeah, exactly. That will be next month.
Next month? Okay.
March? Yeah, I think it's March. It's March.
So
yeah.
pre-order in March with delivery end of the year kind of a thing?
No, delivery happens, I think, June or July.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's pretty cool. Coming up.
Yeah, you'll know officially in March.
Okay. Perfect.
But yeah, we're in it. We're working on it.
Very cool.
It's not theoretical.
Right. Excellent stuff. Well, that's really exciting. You also do have the new Club Grayskull wave here that the pre-order has already gone up for, but we're seeing them here in person. I do want to bring up, because there's been concerns about some of the early photos of like She-Ra and some of that stuff there. Can you tell us anything about?
Yeah, everybody was, why are her eyes like this? And it's like, dude, everyone I have looks great. I'm not sure if there's some that are painted off. I mean, the reality is, if we're talking about a head this big, if the eye gets off 1/100th of an inch, everybody's just like, this is derpy, man, this sucks. It's like, send it back, we'll give you a new head. It's not or new figure.
So we think that was just kind of like just a mishap, not necessarily like all of them are going to look that way?
It's not even a mishap. It's just like, there's so little tolerance for any error on eyes that they're hard to hit, and there's going to be some that just aren't perfect. There's just no way around that. And then if you get one that isn't right, send it back to us and we'll send you one that is right. And it's not that big of a deal, but it's like, they're not, you know, like this. It's just literally 1/100th of an inch off.
Okay.
And you know,
but if there's any issues like that, like you said, they can contact you. And
yeah. And Rudy, I think, has been taking care of people quite well.
Okay.
So
cool. Well, I needed to bring it up because everybody wanted to ask, you know?
Everybody, now I know I'm going to get asked about 400 more times, so it's not a big deal.
Okay.
It's just like, you get this sort of hyper reactionary, oh my God, they've screwed everything up, this is the worst thing that's ever happened in my life thing. And it's just like, do you really think that's what we're trying to do? Like, come on, get your figure in the mail, and when you physically hold it, if there's something wrong with it, let us know. We'll replace it. But it should be fine. The ones I have are fine.
Okay, well that's good. That's good. And like you said, if there's having issues like that, they can contact customer service, and you guys can work it out and get a replacement.
Yeah, and if for some reason they were all of a sudden magically wrong, we would fix them like we fixed Triclops.
All right, well let's talk about more new stuff then. So I noticed Roboto's got like some extra legs sitting next to him. Is that?
It's because those are still, what you're seeing here are still resin casts.
Okay. All
And so we had updated the leg sculpt since last time you guys saw it.
Gotcha.
And he had different parts like on his knees, and there's some different things that we had done so that they're not reused knees, they were custom pieces. So
Okay.
we updated the sculpt.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out what was going on there. I wanted to make sure it wasn't like a interchangeable leg thing or something.
Oh no, they shouldn't be in there, but I think it was. I think Josh ended up putting them in the case just so people noticed that there were new legs. Like, no, look, new legs.
Right.
Since you saw this last, new legs.
New legs. Okay, I see what you're doing.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. And you've also revealed a whole bunch of the new 5.5 scale stuff, the vintage style stuff.
The next wave that everybody's already seen.
Yeah. They kind of leaked out there early, but we've got the confirmation now. We've got like the all black Orko, looks like a glow in the dark He-Man.
So it's a Shadow Orko from, I'm going to blank on the episode.
It comes from a She-Ra episode, right? I think.
Yeah, and then we did, so the glow He-Man, the card back will instead be the transformation burst. Okay. So when he turns into He-Man and you get, and he glows for a split second, so that's the glow He-Man.
See, that's what I was wondering, if all of the color variants were going to have special card backs. Is that going to be the case with like the Frozen Tila and stuff too?
No.
Just him?
On the backside, we'll show you the episode, where it came from, why it exists. So it's not like, why are they making weird blue? It's like, no, we'll. But they'll come on standard card backs. Okay. But the transformation glow in the dark one will have the big sort of burst behind him with the stars and everything and everything. Cool. Yeah. Cool.
So that He-Man and the Orko plus Evil Seed, Evil Lyn, Shadow Weaver, and Stratos? Yeah, Stratos in that set. Oh, Buzz Off. So that's the next wave entirely, wave 4?
Yep, that's wave 4.
And those will be coming up for pre-order shortly, I imagine?
Those are April.
Okay.
So March is classics, and April is wave 4.
Okay. So it's almost like every month we've got like a new pre-order to look forward to.
Yeah, and then May is Snake Mountain.
Oh, May is Snake Mountain. Yep, that's the other big thing. So you got the placard down there.
It
says May 2019, so that's when the pre-order actually starts. So give us some details on that. Pricing, all that good stuff.
It's going to be $600, and it's going to have a large payment. I mean, a mini month payment plan. Okay. I think we're looking at a 6-month payment plan for it, so that people can take their time and slowly pay it off.
Very cool. And then we saw like a really great updated version of it, I think, at PowerCon. Is that pretty much what the final version of it right there?
That's pretty much it. Yeah. Okay. There's things that have been updated, but nothing anybody's going to notice.
Okay. Gotcha.
I mean, they're going to notice because they're going to notice, but nothing substantially different. No.
So what's the planned delivery on that? Pre-orders in May. You said you might have a 6-month payment plan. So
yeah, I mean, delivery on that's going to be a while. I don't know the final, but it's going to be.
But the pre-order's happening. We've got a price point. It's coming.
It's happening.
Snake Mountain is happening. And that's what everybody wanted to know for sure. So Snake Mountain is happening.
Well, of course, you showed it. You showed a prototype of it. Why isn't it for sale tomorrow? And it's like, because we're working on it.
Right. So it's all worked out. So that's awesome. Very good stuff. Great news. So much Masters of the Universe. I mean, you've got a new ReAction stuff is over there.
So wave 5 of ReAction, exactly, with lots of Modulok variants. Yep. There's the blind boxes.
Yes.
With the color variants and all that. So for all those that sort of didn't buy Wave 1 or Wave 2 or missed out, now you can get the Wave 1 and Wave 2 figures again. Right. So, yeah. There's a lot of Masters out there, people.
So much Masters. But this is really going to bridge into the next really exciting thing that you have over here. Because you have some brand new 7-inch scale action figures, super articulated, very much in the style of Masters of the Universe Classics. And I'm seeing Toxie from Toxic Crusaders, like with his full-on Playmates toys color scheme. Voltron. There's some Ren and Stimpy figures. There's a Conan figure. So is this like a whole new like line that you're doing with various characters?
Well, I mean, there's we started with Conan. Yep. I mean, we won't go into the backstories of all of that, but it's like we started with Conan, and it was like, okay, obviously, if you collect He-Man, Conan makes sense. And we're doing the first one is the 74 Marvel comic Conan, and it was like, okay, this is a perfect thing to put next to your Masters figures. Like, it's a continuation of that line. And then once we got started on Conan, we're like, this is really cool. Like, who else can we do? Yeah. And it sounds random, but then we were like, we were starting to do Toxic Crusaders in the Keshi. And more so than Toxic Avengers, Toxic Crusaders, because those toys were so crazy. So cool.
Crazy colors.
Oh, yeah. So then we were like, okay, let's make a Toxie. I don't know if people are going to buy it, but let's make Toxie. And then once we started doing that, we're like, this is really cool. And we had gotten the license for Ren and Stimpy, and we were debating like where we started with it. And we just came back to like, there's never been a really cool deluxe Ren or Stimpy where you can swap the heads and swap the... And so, like, I mean, Stimpy's a whole face comes off and you can swap a new face. So, he's, while in the scale and style of, he's not really exactly the same, but it was like, how do we make this line more than just He-Man and Masters? Like, let's see if we can make it bigger and give some of the other things that you probably loved if you love Masters that can sit on the shelf with them. Because that person is a very different collector than our 3 3/4 person. Definitely. It depends on your age. Like, if you started with Star Wars figures and you went to Masters, you love the 3 3/4. But if you started with Masters and went into Turtles, you don't really care about the 3 3/4. Right. So what does that play? And then so obviously the other big announcement with that is that we're going to be making Turtles in that style.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, because you've got that little placard that says Turtles coming soon. So you're going to do them in the same 7-inch style, similar to Masters, but it's cartoon-style Ninja Turtles.
Cartoon Ninja Turtles. That's amazing. Sitting right next to it so Shadow Weaver can fight Donatello. Oh my
gosh. Wow. So when do you think we'll be getting some news on characters and stuff like that?
We'll show them at San Diego. We'll show them at San Diego. They'll be available, I think it's November. Amazing. But we'll show them at San Diego. There's only so much we can show at one time, and I don't, and it's also like, hey, here's the cool stuff that we're working on now, then we'll get to the next. But we wanted to be able to be like, Turtles are coming. Right. You can have those two side by side.
Amazing. So will all of these be sold the same way you're selling classics, like pre-orders through your website, or do you have retail stuff for those?
Yeah, doing them in this style, it's really prohibitive to try to do wholesale. They just cost too much to make. And everybody goes, well, but they do it with Marvel Legends. It's like, yeah, but Marvel Legends isn't the same thing, and I'm not selling 8 million of these to Walmart.
Quantity makes a huge difference, right?
A massive difference, but it's also, the way, if you look at the way the engineering happens with the joints, it's a lot more expensive to do these kind versus those, and there's just a lot of things that just make it so you can't do it. So they'll be through us, and we're going to make them awesome. And yeah.
It's really exciting news. I mean, that's the kind of thing. You were talking about surprises. That was a huge surprise. That was such a cool thing to see. I'm so digging that Toxie. He's my favorite.
The funny part is that same thing. I was like, we were like, oh, this is so cool. We don't know if anybody's going to care, but people have been I've been surprised how many people have been like, no, Toxie. I like the Toxie.
Man, I'll tell you what, like, those of us who have been collecting classics for so long, like, we've always said we wanted to see other figures done in this style. So, like, this is kind of one of those, like, amazing, like, dream come true things almost, We're gonna Turtles, especially for me, because I'm a huge Turtles fan along with He-Man, and now I'll be able to display them side by side. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, we're trying.
Yeah.
We're trying.
Very cool. All right, so ReAction has been huge as well. You have a ton of new ReAction stuff over there on display. What are some of the new lines that you've got?
Let's see. So obviously, we just showed the new line for Masters. Then we've got, I'm mentally working my way through the case. So Teen Wolf, Breakin', Rocky IV, Aliens, and we're doing, since there's 3 alien xenomorphs in there, 3 different styles, we're doing 3 different aliens. We've got They Live. So cool. Yeah, the They Live figures turned out great. Planet of the Apes Wave 2, we're showing off for the first time. They just got put in the case. There's Universal Monsters Wave 2. What else is in that case? I'm already forgetting stuff. Pee-wee.
Oh, Pee-wee, yes.
Pee-wee.
That was a big one from last year that you guys showed off, and so they're coming now.
Finally coming.
Yeah.
Pee-wee's in there. RoboCop's on there. With the toxic waste dude.
Yeah.
Ed 209 is going to be in a 2-pack with the shot-up businessman, and then Beavis and Butthead.
Yes, I saw those. They look amazing.
And that's the one where we're just like, no one's gonna know. Like, we're gonna show Beavis and Butthead. They're like, nobody's making Beavis and Butthead. Like, and they turned out great.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you guys are doing some amazing things. I love seeing it branch out, like with all these different properties and licenses. Like the Luchadors that you guys just released are so cool. You know, Ghosts and Goblins looks great, and the robot from Rocky, like, are you kidding me? That's amazing. Yeah.
Well, that's the funny part is that we had to go out and get a separate license just for that robot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Of course.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was hilarious.
So good. So much amazing stuff. I noticed like the Halloween buckets and the fun stuff like that is continuing. You got the masks. He-Man and Skeletor even over there now with the buckets.
Buckets. We got masters everywhere.
Masters is just everywhere. Very good.
Remember 2 years ago when people were like, they never make anything. We're never going to have anything to buy. And it's like, now you have a dearth of choices.
I'll say your booth is, I mean, like,
That's the wrong word. Plethora.
That's right. Well, the booth is big this year. You've got like all this space crammed full of product. Some really amazing things here, man.
We're just trying to have fun, and it seems to be working. So I'm just going to, if you're going to let me make toys, I'm going to make as many toys as I get to make.
Right.
So let's, what can we make? What would be fun to have? What do I want to put on the shelf? I mean, I don't think there's a business plan that says make Toxic Crusaders.
For sure, right?
Or exactly, or make Slayer. Yeah. Like that doesn't really show up on most other people's radar, I don't think.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, there's some amazing things here on display from Super 7. And Brian, thank you so much for taking the time to just talk us through all of it and everything. We appreciate it.
Anytime you want to come by, Dan.
All right, I'll be back in a couple minutes. We'll do it again. Take 2, okay? No. All right, guys. Well, there you go. There's a look at what Super 7 has on display at the 2019 New York Toy Fair.
Stay up to date with Pixel Dan at Toy Fair 2019. Follow at Pixel Dan on Twitter or /Pixel Dan on YouTube.com. Thanks for tuning in to your premier source for all things toys, Pixel Dan. See you again.